Welcome back. Now, Pope Leo XIV has officially began his papacy with a grand inaugural mass in front of 250,000 pilgrims, and of course, global leaders were there as well. He's the first American / Peruvian Pope, a Jesuit, and a man known for his outspokenness on peace, poverty and politics.
Joining us this morning to unpack what this moment means, not just globally, but here in our communities, is Father David Braithwaite from St Canice's Parish in Sydney. Good morning, Father.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you in here. What struck you most about the Inauguration Mass?
There was one little moment which I think moved many, many people, I'd be one of them, where Cardinal Tagle presented the new Pope Leo with the Ring of the Fisherman. Now, remember, Cardinal Tagle was one of the front runners to be Pope. He's probably enormously relieved it didn't happen, but there was Leo receiving it, and if you saw it, he was visibly, very visibly moved. I think he would have cried, but he probably had to pull himself together on the world stage.
So they would be great mates?
Oh, I think there'd be a beautiful fraternity there and a wonderful sense of support for what is an extraordinary job. I mean, can you imagine? I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. And all eyes upon him now, and you probably wasn't expecting this. So what kind of a message did he send out today, I guess, to the world?
In his homily, it was very interesting. Of course, he quoted St. Augustine, and just to correct you, there'll be horrors out there to think you have another Jesuit Pope. He's an Augustinian. So he's from a much older, we're new kids on the block compared to the Augustinians who go back to, Augustine was in the mid-300s.
Right.
A spiritual and intellectual genius, giant. Anyway, he spoke in his homily, quoted Augustine a couple of times, but as you'd expect, but he spoke about unity and mission. So what was wonderful about that, he took the Francis sense of a missionary church, a church going to the edges, especially for the poor, because he's had that wonderful Peruvian experience himself. But he also insisted on the need for unity, but unity for mission, not just for its own sake. We're not just going to be a club looking inward. That's clearly not part of what he wants, nor if any of the popes wanted that, really.
Our Prime Minister, of course, has already invited the new Pope to visit here in Australia, the 2028 Eucharist Congress. What kind of impact do you think that papal visit will have here?
Well, wherever you have a papal visit, you have a wonderful surge in faith, really, energy in the local church. So without a doubt, it'll be a tremendous shot in the arm for us. I mean, the Australian church does so many good things, but particularly I think the English-speaking world, there are certain different emphases, even divisions, if you want to call it that, which is probably honest, that a man like Pope Leo can help reconcile, heal, remind people of what really matters. Stop getting caught up in culture wars or extraneous things, frankly.
You mentioned culture wars, and that it really does bear in mind the fact that he's born in Chicago. His brothers have been speaking out, loud and proud about how proud they are of him there. Chicago is a very working class place. It's a terrific town, but you're talking about America, who's at a time of really, isolationism right now, and nationalist pride, and the MAGA. People over there have been calling him the woke Pope. They've not been happy with this. With someone like Pope Leo coming through and the message he has, is there an ability for him to be able to heal that, to calm those waters?
Well, I think on the world stage, you're quite right, David. This is a man who now, we won't be able to avoid seeing the contrast, shall we say, with the US president in style and content. So we're looking at a very humble, quiet scholar who's been close to the poor, who of course is half Peruvian, or not, dual citizen rather, born in Chicago, as you say. So we're going to see a rather interesting contrast on the world stage. Look, when he was announced he was an American Pope, I think most of the world's eyes rolled. Oh dear, do we have to have more American voices dominating our lives? But then we discovered, there's much more texture, nuance, richness to this man's experience, and you start to see the things he said. He will be a wonderful thorn in the side of certain people.
Well, your own parish work, it centres on inclusion and service. So what kind of leadership are you hoping that we'll see from Pope Leo?
I love the fact that Leo is continuing the message of a missionary church to go to the edges. It's not just a club for those in the know. It's for people who feel rejected by society or on the edge, I say the fuzzy boundaries of the church as well. So that if he continues that message of love and mercy for the whole world, to be leaven for the whole world, it helps our work, of course. We have 160 people odd per day coming in 6 days a week for a free meal. It's not cheap, so we need the world, we need Catholics to understand it's worth supporting, which they do, but other people as well. But I really do think that continuance of that message to go to the edges and realise that the Pope himself is encouraging that. And the welcome doesn't stop somehow just because Francis is off the stage. That's not the case.
Father, you were talking just a bit about the soup kitchen. It's been going for 30 years there. It's Canister's there.
36 now, David.
36 years, there you go. That is a huge achievement and does so much for the community. And I think that so many of us walk through our lives with our own problems. We're stuck in our phones, we're stuck with whatever issues we're having with our kids or whatever's going through our lives. And we forget about the work that needs to be happening with churches like yours and soup kitchens that are going on that help provide meals to people that need it. What can people do if they're in that local area that can help?
Well, or even if they're not
they're
in the local
locals.
area. Yeah, if they're locals, so we have 350 plus volunteers, and a wonderful testament to the quality, I think, of community involvement in Sydney. Though we hear always negative stories, we have a waiting list of probably about the same number of people who want to volunteer, who want to serve others in their community. We've got a huge redevelopment on now, which is going to cost a lot of money, which will give us an upgrade of our facilities so they're more dignified, more easier to clean, safer for guests and volunteers, and that's costing a lot of money. We've got a target there of over $1 million, to raise. So if people want to help with that, wherever they're living, stcanis.org.au. The donate button is very much on the homepage, I assure you. And I'm always happy to meet and talk people through the good we do. But small donations are just as welcome as the large ones because they're all signs of hope on both sides, to the people we care for. And the reality is that people who come into our kitchen, it can happen to anyone.
Yes.
It really can. We never think it'll happen to us, but a few unlucky events in life or addiction issues.
And it can happen quickly too.
Very quickly.
Yeah, that's right. Father Dave, it's always great to have you here. We're looking forward to hopefully Pope Leo's world tour, including Australia.
Well, that'd be fantastic.
And then we can get tour jackets. It's going to be a real
a lot of American-style merchandising, maybe. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you.
Thank you, Father. Still to come, former President Joe Biden diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer where